Over the past 30 years now, you've just seen this rapid increase in inequality in the U.S. economy. And so more and more of the fruits of economic growth are going to a smaller and smaller slice of people. And that was sort of the backdrop to the Great Recession. That was not an accident. It was not an act of nature. It was not the weather. It was not just something that happened. All of that funneling of income upwards happened because we very much changed the policy orientation of the U.S. economy. At EPI, we produce State of Working America, which is our big compendium of facts about the U.S. economy every couple of years. And this year, besides just being this big book of facts, there was also kind of a narrative thread running through it for anyone who really took the time to squint really hard at it. And we realized maybe we should make it easier for people. And so this year we sort of separated it to two tracks. We put the data and figures and the stuff people really go to for SWA on the website, and then we decided to really emerge that narrative about what has happened in the U.S. economy over the past couple of decades, and that's what Failure of Design is about. Basically, about 30 years ago, there's a whole constellation of policies put into place that were guaranteed to make sure that the already rich got an ever-increasing share of economic growth that happened thereafter. And you can think of a number of these. I mean, one, there's just an all-out assault on workers' right to unionize. Unions are very good for making sure fruits of economic growth are broadly distributed, and so, a conscious policy effort was the breaking of unions. You saw that the value of the minimum wage was allowed to be eroded by inflation for decades at a time without being reset by Congress. Again, minimum wages are very good at making sure people at the very low end get some of the fruits of economic growth. You saw this ever-increasing integration of the United States in a much poorer global economy, and often done under the auspices of trade agreements that were very protective of corporate interests, but not protective at all of American workers' interests. And then another one that I think is often overlooked, which is very big, which is basically the orientation of the Federal Reserve became target low inflation at all costs, but don't target low unemployment at all costs. As Americans continue to get more educated every year, you look at overall rates of productivity growth in the economy, they're still pretty healthy. And so the idea that the American workforce in general has just gotten too stupid or unskilled to produce economic growth, it just seems crazy to me. Take being enjoyed by the top 1%, top 5% is just enormous now. I mean, you've got the top 1% of income earners in the United States claiming almost a quarter of all income right now. And that does not leave that much left over for everybody else to share. We designed an economy, not many of us were cut in on the deal, but it turns out we designed an economy over the past 30 years to funnel lots of money to the very rich, and it worked. The good news there is that policy works. It does what it's actually designed to do. The bad news is we designed it to do, in my view, a very bad thing, and we need to change where policy is oriented.